Hey guys, so we wanted to try some new guns. So my brother and I, we went to our local gun shop and we just looked around and we decided what we wanted to do. We found what looked cool to us, that we had questions about, that we wanted to resolve. And what we came and decided was to get a Walther PK380. And out of all the colors that we wanted to try the Angel Blue. So, here's the gun from this side and this side. And we have a magazine which holds 8 rounds, and you get an additional round that can be in the chamber. The slide is fairly easy. It doesn't seem to catch or anything when I do it. And it does lock back when the magazine is in. Now, the interesting thing about this is to drop the magazine. Normally there would be a button in this area, but with this design they have put a little lever below the trigger that you pull down on. You don't have to pull very far. It's probably not even a millimeter, and it releases. You do that with either hand. I could see that maybe that could get caught on something and then drop your magazine. Not quite sure. I would have to test that. But yeah, you just pull down and the magazine will come out. Then there's no decocker on this gun, and there are 2 ways you can put the hammer down. One is to just pull the trigger, which is not recommended. So you're supposed to put your thumb on it and just let it go. For me, I can't really do that. It slides off my thumb. And then you have your safe, which is downward, and your fire, which is forward. And when you work that, you can see the hammer moves back a little bit on safe and then forward on fire. And it's somewhat difficult for me to do, but that might just be because it needs to be worked in a bit. Not sure, it might need some oil. The slide with a push and pull method works very well. It's easier for me to hold it like this. I have to say that it's very nice slide compared to most of the other things that I've tried. I don't struggle at all to actually rack it like I do with general other small 380s. This is larger than regular 380s though, so it's just because there's more grip on it. But yeah, every time it slips out of my thumb. But that is the Walther 3K. Let me try this again. This is the Walther P3K80. There we go. Gotta get that completely wrong. And I like how Daddy's just sitting here looking at his glasses and looking over them and trying to figure out if I'm actually saying that right or wrong. It is the PK380, not the P3K80 or something weird like that, but PK380.
Alright guys, I've got the PK380 here. It's an interesting little gun, I've got to say. It's got an 8+1, so 8 rounds in the magazine, 1 in the chamber. The slide is incredibly easy to actuate. I mean, if I didn't know better, I'd say there's not even a spring in the gun. It's just that light to me. It's just incredibly light. I thought there was something wrong at first, but it's just how it is. It's got a lever for the magazine release, like Samantha has said. But what she didn't really go over completely clearly is that this gun is ambidextrous pretty much all the way except for takedown. It's got an ambidextrous magazine release and an ambidextrous safety. So whether you're a lefty or a righty, you're going to be able to work all the controls on this gun. For takedown is something I'm kind of ambivalent about. I like how easy it is to take down, but I think they made a mistake. they require this key here. If you don't have this key, you cannot take this gun down. So what you have to do is take your key, which you hopefully haven't lost, insert it into the gun, twist. The key is now locked in the gun. It can't come out. Pull back on the slide slightly. And of course I'm having to do this for the camera. So pull back on the slide slightly, just enough it takes pressure off this block. This block will fall down, or you have to pull it down, but it'll come down. And then the whole slide just pushes forward. Now you can take your spring out, take your barrel out, clean everything, and when you're ready to reassemble, just put it back forward, pull all the way back, push the block up, twist the key, take it out, ready to go. So, I mean, it's got a very easy, simple takedown. I was surprised by how simple the takedown was, but requiring this little key is kind of a odd thing to do, if you ask me. You're going to lose that, and then you're not going to be able to take your gun down. Just seems kind of backwards to me. But overall, this is a nice little pistol. I'm hoping to see how well it shoots and take it out for a spin.
So I wanted to go over just how easy everything on this gun is. It's definitely a woman's gun. They thought about woman when they made it, from spring tension all the way to the colors. But the first thing is the magazine. I would say it's as easy to load as any 22 mag that you'll come across. Right now we have 6 rounds inside of it. It's an 8-round magazine. And anybody who loads magazines knows how hard it is to get the last few in. So literally, it's like sliding right in without a problem. I'm not forcing it or anything. It's just like a 22 would be. There's no issues. The second thing is you have the magazine. It goes in. And we are in safe right now. Down means safe. Now when I rack the slide, I have a round in the chamber now, which means I have 7 in the magazine. But this hammer is back, so I have to let that down to show you guys the double action on there. So the way I'm doing that is I'm sticking my thumb in like this. I'm pointing the gun in the safe direction. It is in safe. Pulling the trigger back. Slowly pulling up with my thumb. And then just sliding it back. And now that hammer's down. So now this first shot that I'm going to take is going to be in double action, and every one after that's going to be in single. Okay? Now, for the magazine release, it's kind of like in my head automatically to like press here or down here to let it out, and I kind of started doing that. But the magazine release is below the trigger. It's very easy to pull, and it just drops it right out. There's no having to pull it or anything. Now when you have your magazine, if you have a problem racking the slide, if you can't do that, okay, so if you cannot rack the slide, I think it only does it when there's a round in here, right? So I'm going to put a round in the magazine to show you guys.
Put the gun on safe.
Yep. Which it does go in safe while the slide's back. So you have the round here. See, when you just gently put it in, it does not rack the slide back. But if I were to take it and go, now we have that round in the chamber. And now I can go and fire. And that was single action because that hammer was already back. So while I was standing here going over, my dad asked me a question, and that was, does it have a magazine disconnect? And what that means is, if there's a round in the chamber and the magazine is not inside the gun, will it fire? And the answer to that is yes, and I'll demonstrate that just so you guys know for sure. So I'm putting it in safe. Okay. Everything's good to go. There's a round in the chamber. I am letting the magazine go. There's no round in here. No magazine. Okay. I'm putting it out of safe. And this hammer's back, so it's in single action. We're good to go. It just fired. Now the slide stays down because there's not another round for it to cycle. So if you want this to stay back again, you're going to have to stick the magazine back in and take it out. So it does not have a disconnect on it. Ow. It came back and hit my head and then fell right on my arm. I'm not kidding you. A little bit of a clinch there.
Ow. Now where's the key? Where's the key? There it is, next to these rubber bullets.